Good evening, everyone. I am Joseph Armendariz. Our communication skills develop even before we know it, and according to a whole lot of smart people, I'm a living testament for the lack of those crucial developing communication skills. Without going to a whole spiel about how terrible my life was, I will say that my lack of and desire to communicate stem from how my parents and grandparents raised me. Our foundations of communication start when we are infants, and when those pillars of language and social interaction are not properly set and built upon, it's very likely that until we become aware of and make the necessary changes, we will be content in our own shell. This class has helped me to become aware of so many communication barriers that I have and how to overcome and educate myself and become a better communicator in the future. Language and social interaction is the study of the structure of verbal and nonverbal behaviors occurring in social interaction. Social interaction is crucial for children's language acquisition. From the moment we are born, children engage in social interaction, and a child's language development is dependent on social environment. Children learn more than new words by engaging with social partners. As parents and children interact, parents demonstrate the rules of social interaction by engaging infants in give-and-take format. These proto-conversations begin to model conversational structure for the child. Eventually, children's developing language abilities allow them to become true conversational partners. The importance of social interaction emerges clearly in research that has been investigated human infants, children with autism, and even non-human animals. Research has gone so far as to argue that social information gates natural language learning, suggesting that social experience is important for language learning. The more children have access to social cues, and the better children's ability to use social cues, the greater their ability to learn language. This aligns with the research reviewed above on typically developing children, Cole 2003, Roseberry 2014. One of the most studied social cues is joint attention, in which both partners focus their attention on a common object or event. Naturalistic observations find that both children and parents talk more during episodes of joint attention, and that children show increased word learning during joint attention. The ability to communicate with one another is of paramount importance to the success of the human race. Hartley, 1999. Communication is a dynamic process with the interacting components of sending and receiving information. Nonverbal cues may provide clarity or contradiction for a message being sent. This is not to say that nonverbal forms of communication merely provide modicum of clarity for verbal communication. They can, do, and stand alone. Facial expressions, body movements, gaze, and posture can all be used to provide further emphasis to language communication, or can be employed silently and still convey important messages. That to conduct successful interpersonal relationships, the ability to give and interpret nonverbal cues is of paramount importance because social constraints often hinder explicit verbal messages. Hartley, 1999, argued that every human is born with a biologically based capacity for the perception of and empathetic responsiveness to the bodily expressed feelings and attitudes of others. My goal was to convince you that our communication skills develop even before we know it, at the infant stage, and the references provided give a medical insight into how crucial language and social interaction communication really are. Thank you for your time.